The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
What type of defense will the New York Jets run in 2025? New DC Steve Wilks says he's merging his D, that sounded wrong, with Aaron Glenn's defense. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Tuesday. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you spending time with us here on the show. Couple announcements at the top. I know I'm giving a lot of different things at once here, but that's because we have all these deadlines for tickets, for meetups, and everything going on with the Jets this upcoming season. Yesterday, I shared the news that for the second year in a row, we are doing an Asmaniac group ticket buy. Come sit with me and your favorite Asmaniacs for the Jets-Panthers game at MetLife Stadium on October 19th. The link to lock in your spot is in the description. Once you get your ticket locked in, once I actually get the tickets from the Jets, I will transfer them to you at the email that you list when you lock in your spot. Plus, the first 45 people to buy their ticket will get a field pass to go on the MetLife Stadium field after the game for pictures and a group photo. So our second annual group buy, we're doing the Panther game. We'll have a tailgate at a discounted group rate as well. Working with Nick Shine on that. So stay tuned for information on the tailgate. But lock in your ticket. First 45 are guaranteed a field pass after the game. That's Jets-Panthers. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff, October 19th. So lock in your spot. If you're coming to Tampa, we do have limited group seating left at a significant discounted rate. These are first come, first serve for any Asmaniac coming to Tampa. To get access to these tickets, join my Patreon. This is one of the perks of your membership, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. In Tampa, we will have a Saturday night party. We will have a pregame tailgate. And then if you want to sit with some Jet fans, some Asmaniacs, all you need to do is lock in your spot. And plus, I'll have information on a discount room rate for anyone who's traveling and wants to book a hotel. It's going to be a phenomenal weekend. Hotel Tampa Riverwalk is where we're going to be staying, and I will have a link for Asmaniacs to get a room at a discounted rate later today. So patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join the Discord. Long story short, that's where you get information. And you can always reach out to me via email. My email is in the description. It's asmanjake@gmail.com. Okay, now that I'm done bombarding everyone with some information, let's talk Jets, and let's specifically talk about what Steve Wilks said the other day about the defense. So Steve Wilks, to me, was the best hire that Aaron Glenn could have made for the role of defensive coordinator, right? Aaron Glenn has said that he wants to coach the entire football team. It's a lot easier to do that when you feel like the guy you hire to run the defense is someone you know has a proven track record of being a good defensive coordinator. And that's Steve Wilks. He's also been a head coach. So you bring in someone that could help you as a coordinator and someone that could help you as someone who's been in that seat before. So I thought hiring Steve Wilks was a tremendous job by Aaron Glenn. And we got to hear from Wilks for the first time the other day. And this was Steve Wilks on how he thinks he could help Aaron Glenn as a first-time head coach.
I think, number one, just experience. You can't beat experience, in situations that I may have gone through that doesn't have anything to do with football. And that's what that position sometimes entails, that you're dealing with a lot of things outside of ball. And then also just throughout the course of the year and trying to manage certain things and being able to have someone to bounce ideas off of, I think that's critical. Sometimes in that seat, man, it gets lonely, and you don't have that sounding piece, that individual to communicate and speak with. So I'm here for that. Leadership-wise, phenomenal, man. He has really set the foundation and really trying to change the culture within the building. And I emphasize building, not just the football aspect, because a lot of times on the outside, people don't understand a head coach, that's what he cultivates. He changes the whole dynamics of the building, and you can see that thus far. And the players are really buying in. The level of commitment and consistency that we're seeing throughout the different phases is there.
This is a guy that has been there, done that, been a head coach before. Really, he's been a head coach twice. He was a head coach in Arizona, basically got screwed over, was handed a terrible roster. The team was terrible with Josh Rosen. He gets fired. They bring in Cliff Kingsbury, right? So that was head coaching stop number one for Wilks. The second stop, we were just talking about Jets-Panthers. He was the interim coach after the Panthers fired Matt Rule, who was a disaster in Carolina. And Wilks actually had that team competitive down the stretch, and they almost made the playoffs. Sam Darnold was his quarterback and actually played pretty well, if you guys remember that. So, Wilks has been a successful DC and a lot of stops. He's obviously been a head coach now twice. I think it's a really good hire by Aaron Glenn, right? He wants to coach the whole team. Well, you feel confident that at least one of your coordinators been there, done that. Whereas Tanner Engstrand, we think he might be good. We like his pedigree. I've been impressed when I've heard him speak, but we don't know. He's never been an OC before. So at least on defense, you feel like you got the right guy that you know for sure in Steve Wilks. Now, as far as why Steve Wilks took the job, I thought this was a really intriguing answer here by the Jets' new DC.
Well, number one, I have a lot of respect for Aaron. We've known each other over the years, never really worked with one another, but being in the same division, we had a lot of conversations, particularly at the Combine, talking philosophy, those kind of things. So throughout the process, we stayed in contact, and when it narrowed down to the Jets, I got really excited because I've been, from afar. I know the roster. I know the personnel that we have on the defensive side of the ball, and a lot to work with. And with his relationship with the organization, I felt like it was going to be a great connection with ownership.
Me, that last part is significant, right? You get a guy like Steve Wilks who had other opportunities because people think, oh, Aaron Glenn and this relationship he has with Woody Johnson, that is something that you feel like is going to buy you some time if the Jets aren't good right away, right? Like the Jets aren't going to make a quick change after a year with Aaron Glenn if it's a disaster. And Steve Wilks obviously experienced what that's like. He was one and done as a head coach. So he's going to go somewhere where he feels like there's stable grounds for him to have a job for more than a year or two, right? Like Aaron Glenn's not getting fired if the Jets win one game this upcoming year. He's just not. And the Jets are obviously going to win more than one game. But I thought that last comment, just talking about Glenn's relationship with ownership, that's how it's viewed around the league, right? Because Wilks, I could tell you, he had other offers to be DCs, to be a defensive coordinator elsewhere, and he chose the Jets. And I think it did have a lot to do with respect for Aaron Glenn, and also the fact that this is looked at as a stable situation now for a couple of years. You got to win eventually, right? If Aaron Glenn goes 2 or 3 years with no playoffs, if he misses the playoffs this year or next year, he might get a third year, not a guarantee, but definitely there's some stability at least initially. So that's part of this, right? Steve Wilks was one and done as a DC as well with the Niners. Kyle Shanahan scapegoated him for that Super Bowl loss, it felt like. So I thought that comment there was intriguing because ownership matters. And it goes back to what we've said about Woody Johnson as well. He always tried to distance himself from Saleh and Douglas by saying, they weren't my hires. My brother made those hires. Right? Well, I guess, but you're the owner of the team. Like, your brother might have been the acting owner then, but, I mean, you got to take some accountability for that, right? Well, Woody didn't. And that's why he had never been a guy who's ever fired a coach in season. Well, he did it last year with Saleh because he never felt like Saleh was truly his guy. Well, Aaron Glenn's his guy. Darren Muji's his guy. Like, he sat in on all the interviews. He ran the search. It was the first time Woody ran a head coach and GM search since they hired Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon, 2015. That was the last time. Because then after that, he went to London. He wasn't here for Gase. Joe Douglas was the one who hired Saleh. Right? So this is the first time that Woody has hired the people that are in charge. And I think that answer by Glenn is a little revealing there for sure. Or that answer by Wilks, I should say. Now, here's more from Steve Wilks. Here's Steve Wilks talking about the Jets roster and why he likes it.
Well, you just called two guys that I think are phenomenal and at the top of their game within the league. Everything we do starts up front. You know, I don't care if it's stopping the run, getting to the quarterback, you know, creating a new line of scrimmage, and Quinnen is that guy that can do that. And when you look at the second level, you talk about Quincy, you talk about Sherwood, you know, two great linebackers that I'm excited about. They're working well together right now with one another. Of course, we did what we did in the offseason with Sherwood, which I was excited about that. He stepped up, taking a leadership role. And when you look at on the perimeter, Sauce, Brandon Stevens that we brought in, AZ, who we drafted, you know, three phenomenal guys that can do the things that we want them to do outside.
It's going to be interesting to see what the defense looks like specifically. We expect them to play more man and to be more aggressive than what we have seen under the Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich defense the last several years. Jets defense was horrible last year. They were number 23 in defensive EPA. They couldn't hold a lead to save their life. Any big opportunity to go and win the game, they couldn't do it. But Steve Wilks is inheriting a defensive unit that has 8 returning starters. And I've made this point a lot. There is at least one all-pro level player on each level of the defense. Quinnen Williams, Quincy Williams, Sauce Gardner. They've all been first-team all-pros. They've made Pro Bowls. Jermaine Johnson has made the Pro Bowl as an alternate. Will McDonald had 10.5 sacks last year. Michael Carter is considered to be one of the better nickel corners in the league. Jamie Sherwood was voted team MVP last year. They obviously think the world of him. They paid him. So there's talent on this defense. This defense needs to be one of the strengths of the team. Now the question's going to be, what type of scheme are they going to be running? And Steve Wilks spoke about how his defense and Glenn's defense, it's going to be a combination. They're going to merge schemes. And what I want to play for you guys right now is what I thought was a very interesting back and forth during this press conference. Listen to the question Rich Cimini of ESPN asked Steve Wilks. It's a question about Sauce Gardner. But with the answer about Gardner, Wilks expands and talks about the entire defensive mentality and the scheme and their play style as a whole. So really good back and forth here. Very interesting.
With Sauce, they've been predominantly a zone team the last few years. With his unique skill set because of his length, how would he translate? Everyone's presuming he'll probably play more man this year.
Why are they presuming that?
Well, you know, AG is a man coach.
Okay.
I think you've done a lot of blitzing in your past, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
If that comes to be, how could he make that? What would that transition be like for him?
As I mentioned earlier, man, he's smart. He sees it from a different lens. I was just talking to our in-house people upstairs and explaining this, that very highly intelligent, understands the game. So I think he would be able to transition well from a standpoint of man, zone, whatever we're trying to do. We always emphasize in the defensive room our weapons, eyes, hands, hips, and feet, you know. Regardless of the call, that's what we got to perfect, and he does a great job of that. And I think everything is predicated off our opponents. Each week it may be a little different, you know. Zone eyes, you know, getting the ball out quick, making plays on the ball, being physical at the line of scrimmage, trying to take certain guys away, you know, tighten things up so the D-line can get there. So it's going to fluctuate in how we play.
I like that. Now, let's see if they actually are true to that, because I think one of the things that frustrated many Jet fans is how stubborn the defensive coaching staff was, how it was, this is the way we do it, and that's it. They never blitzed enough. They didn't adjust it, didn't feel like. I'm excited to at least hear from a coach. It's going to be game plan specific based on our opponent is what we're going to run that week. That makes sense, right? Coach the players you have. Don't just try and force a scheme if it's not working. Some weeks, maybe you do more zone. Some weeks, maybe you play more man. Maybe you blitz more some weeks. Other weeks, maybe you don't. I think that's just good coaching. And that was the stubbornness with the previous coaching staff. And you can't say it didn't work overall. The Jets obviously had some very good defenses under Robert Saleh. But to take it to another level, to get back on track, that's what I want to hear. So I think the Wilks hire was great at the time, and I think only hearing from him reaffirms that. So I'm very encouraged by Steve Wilks. And look, Sauce Gardner could play a lot of man. He grades out as one of the best corners in man. I'd like to see Sauce travel more. If they're about to pay Sauce Gardner a contract that is probably going to start with a 3 in AAV, right? $30 million a year. That's what Derek Stingley just got. That's the number to beat. Cap goes up every year. Sauce has been a two-time first-team All-Pro. Stingley has only been a first-team All-Pro once this past year. That's the number it's probably going to start at. And fine. But I'd like to get our money's worth if that's the case. Sauce should travel. Last year, we're going to have him travel more. Did it ever feel like they did that? Seriously, did it ever feel like the Jets actually did that with Gardner? No. Let's go, man. What made Darrelle Revis was he traveled. They should use Sauce that way as well, especially if you're paying him all this money. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Glenn could do with this defense with Steve Wilks. I'm excited to see, what they're going to do with Brandon Stevens, who they paid a lot of money to. Can they actually get this guy to be coached up? AZ Thomas seems like a steal in the third round. Jets posting highlights of him breaking up a pass intended for Garrett yesterday. I'm excited to see what the secondary does when your head coach is the second best corner in the history of the franchise, when your DC is a guy who's had a lot of success. Yeah, I'm excited about this defense bouncing back. The defense will keep the Jets in a lot of games this year. I think the key for this defense is, can they force more turnovers? Can they be more opportunistic? Can they fall on a fumble? I don't care if defensively, the Jets in yards a game allowed are statistically pretty good. Last year they were. They were number 3 in yards allowed for the second straight year. If you watched the Jets last year, you would say their defense stunk. So I don't care if they allow more yards this year. You know what I want? Stops with the game on the line. Forcing more turnovers. Winning the turnover battle, you have like a 70% chance to win the game. That's what they need to do. Right? Sauce, more interceptions this year from you. Collectively, they need more interceptions. You get picks by putting pressure on the quarterback, deflections, ball batted up in the air. That's what we need to see defensively. They can allow more yards, but force more turnovers, you'll win more games. That should be the mentality. Quincy Williams and Jamie Sherwood are two of the faster players in the NFL. They should be blitzing a lot more. They should be blitzing off the edge. They should be blitzing up the middle. That's how you could do it. King Izzy with a super chat to start us off today. I was never worried about the lack of moves in the offseason. With the right coaching, talent is here. I hope for 10 wins. Okay, I think we all hope for that. It's going to come down to the quarterback play. Because you could have a really talented team, but the quarterback could hold you back. So we'll see what they have in Justin Fields. Do I think this team is going to be picking at the top of the draft like some have projected? Absolutely not. I just can't go as far as 10 wins right now until I see what this offense is with Justin Fields. Super chats cut the line. Steven checks in with a super chat. Good morning. Good points on Sauce, Jake. Just bought my plane ticket to New York for my first home game on the opener. Hopefully you can make it, Jake, and we tailgate. That's awesome, Steven. I'm glad you're going to get a chance to check out your first ever game. That's awesome. Hopefully they get a win for you, man. God. You guys know my thoughts on my fear for that week 1 Steelers-Jets game. So, but as far as Sauce goes, if you're going to make that investment in them, which it sounds like they're going to, let's use them like a guy you're saying is one of the faces of your team. Let him travel. And I think they will, from what I gather so far. If you're tuning in late, right now we have a bounty on the world's worst. So check out the live chat. You'll see what I'm talking about. We need right now 15 total super chats, and Allen will be sent to the hole for being the woe. With that said, we already have a couple that are underway. Like this one here from Jets Johnny, who says poop is greater than Allen. And Darth Crypto, who says Allen should wash his finger. 2 salient points made by 2 excellent listeners. Thank you very much, Darth Crypto. All right, folks. I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for the announcement of the May Asmaniac Power Rankings. If you've been a longtime viewer of the show, every month leading up to Asmaniac Madness, we release a top 10 Asmaniac Power Ranking. The list is put together by committee chairman Boomtown, Tom Ace, Gator McCluskey, Sham, Rich, and Nick Shine, our 6-member committee. I have nothing to do with the rankings. These are put together by Asmaniacs for Asmaniacs. So, it is my pleasure to announce our first top 10 since the conclusion of Asmaniac Madness in April. We didn't do a top 10 in April because we still had the tournament. Now we're back for the first of many monthly rankings leading into next March. So without further ado, it is time to announce our top 10. But first, some stats on you, the caller, throughout the month of May. In total, I took 415 calls in the month of May. Beastbreaker called in on 47 of the 48 shows that I hosted. The only show he did not appear on was when Connor Long filled in for me on Friday. Kyle Clifton also dominated with an incredible 35 call-ins during the month of May. Now, before I give you guys the top 10, some notes from the committee. The committee came together to rank the top 10 callers into the show, plus honorable mentions. These rankings are only based on calls made during the month of May, and they do not take into consideration anything outside of the 48 shows in the month of May. These rankings have no impact on Asmaniac Madness. They are simply a reflection of this time period. But keep in mind, the more you call into the show, the better you'll be ranked when it's all said and done, when the rankings come out on Selection Sunday next year. So, with that said, it is time to announce the top 10. And here we go. We'll start with the honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, King Lowski, Nate, parentheses Nate, David T, Jets Jesus, Barbarossa, and Thunderlips. Those are the honorable mentions. And now, your top 10. At number 10, Pork of the Morning. This month, Asmaniacs got to know Pork more and realized there is far more to him than just great calls into the show. He's a seasoned pool player. He actually won a darts tournament and found himself in the middle of an investigation when some unlucky guy had the misfortune of stealing his custom pool cue. He also delivered one of the best lines of the month after Jake asked him if he would rather kiss Charles on his bloody neck or eat the food off of Beast's grill. He simply replied, "I'm taking the rope." His story is just starting to unfold in the Asmaniac universe, and if he keeps stringing high-quality calls together, he will soon see himself ascending the rankings. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 10 ranked caller in the month of May, Pork of the Morning. Number 9, the big fella, the man whose belly was always on the bed, took a big-time step this month and is now making calls upright at his desk. There has been zero drop-off from call quality, but some have noted his shot at the sexiest Asmaniac of the Year chances have taken a hit now that he's in an upright position. He shows zero hesitation when he feels something needs to be said, and that was on full display when a dirty Patriots fan called in trying feebly to run his mouth against our Jets. The big fella put that clown Patriots fan in his place and had the pleasure of chirping him as he got his ass thrown into the hole. Be warned, fans of inferior teams. If you call in and come at the Jets, you will have to deal with the big man. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 9 ranked caller in the month of May, the big fella. At number 8, Adam is too cool. Adam makes his debut on the monthly power rankings after a strong month that saw him call in multiple times, even while he was on vacation. Even though he admitted to being a Celtics fan, Asmaniacs were willing to look past that, as each call he brought consistent, high-quality takes and helped drive the conversation each show. It is truly unfortunate he so closely resembles his father, Alan, who is one of the biggest villains on the Jake Asman Show. We do know talent always skips a generation, however, and it's clearly evident both Adam and his grandfather were the ones truly blessed with knowledge and logic in the family. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 8 ranked caller in the month of May, Adam is too cool. Number 7, Purple Belt Mike. The man who truly lives and dies with his sports teams, put in a great month featuring 21 calls into the show. Many of his calls were kept short and sweet, where he showed intense passion for the Knicks and did also mix in a nice fuck you hour to jump aboard that very popular trend in May. The man behind helping protect Charles and his identity also showed off his keen sense of scent that women can't resist when he sent Mr. Gorman a bottle of Batman body and face wash. Now that Charles has wiped away the scent of criminality, the sky is the limit for one of New Jersey's most eligible bachelors. Well done, Purple Belt Mike, our number 7 ranked Asmaniac in the month of May. Number 6, Gary 3D Boxing. Everyone's favorite narcissist put in another great month in May, delivering a solid 20 calls into the show. And what some may describe as a budding romance, Gary appeared to have found a soulmate in guest co-host Frankie V. It was hard to deny the sparks weren't flying when they discovered they both shared the same viewpoint on the moon landing, Spencer Rattler, and if chicken goes with pasta. Gary did really well with his calls in May, especially with him having to deal with the fact that he now realizes the Knicks did far better in the Mikal Bridges trade than his Nets team did. He may not be able to pee if someone is watching him, but Gary is ready to give his take anytime, any place. Just make sure to keep everything literal when speaking to him. Your number 6 ranked caller in the month of May, Gary 3D Boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, number 5, Dave One Punch Braga. His passion to achieve and achieve is what he did in May. Earlier in the month, he took the Asmaniacs along to his local car show and showed off some epic cars. Most of the cars he noted were full of achievement. The BMWs, not so much. He did make it very clear that he's had enough of Charles not working and has taken it upon himself to demand he send him his resume so he could land him some proper employment. He, of course, couldn't help himself when Gary was going off on one of his typical nonsensical rants and jumped in for a good old-fashioned achiever versus non-achiever rumble. One thing is for sure, even if he's sick, he's still willing to call in and put any Patriots fans in their place should they show their face on screen. Your number 5 ranked caller in the month of May, One Punch Dave Brigham. Number 4, the champion of Asmaniac Madness, Mr. Bonesy. The law offices of Bonesy and Bonesy were officially open this month, and the man at the center proved he is ready to take on any client in any situation. After being retained by his controversial client Beastbreaker, he moved quickly to build up a case, book a court date, and was ready to protect his client from his nemesis Bobby Beasley. Nobody could doubt his dedication as the attorney at law showed up to work, unscheduled, ready to litigate his case against Beasley's lawyer on Memorial Day, but got no-showed. There have also been rumblings that a second shoe battle may be in the works in the near future, where many suspect he will take back his crown, and the Asmaniacs are ready for it. He may be a world-class shoe salesman, but make no doubt about it, folks. Those shoes behind him, those are, in fact, law books. Your number 4 ranked caller in the month of May, Mr. Bonesy. We have reached the top 3. Number 3, Kyle Clifton. After making an incredible appearance at the draft party live with Jake on the screen in April, Mr. Clifton made it a mission to make his mark in the month of May. This month, Kyle called in an incredible 35 times to make logical, salient, and outstanding comments on the day's news. In a shocking twist, he showed he has a cold-hearted and ruthless side when he said in a heartbeat he would be willing to sacrifice little Joey for the Knicks to win a championship. You never know if Kyle is going to be calling from inside or outside, or in the rare instance, from underwater when he uses his cheap AirPods. But when he does call in, you know he's going to make an excellent take on the day's news and sometimes offer a different quality perspective. He's built like a left tackle. He makes great points, and he's truly a star in the Asmaniac community. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 3 ranked Asmaniac, Kyle Clifton. Number 2, Beastbreaker 666. The month of the Beast, the most famous or infamous to some, attic-dwelling Asmaniac dominated this screen, appearing on 47 of 48 Jake Asman shows in the month of May. While the long-awaited confrontation between Beast and Bobby Beasley took place just before the month started, the fallout from this epic event was felt for weeks after. Now that he has built up a team featuring Gator running tech support, Mr. Bonesy representing him as a lawyer, and the big fella as his unlicensed therapist, he's becoming a formidable force for any who challenge him. And who could forget one of the top moments of the month? From jumping off the top rope, this man jumped off the second deck of an arena to drop the ultimate Asmaniac elbow onto a dirty Canadian Patriots fan after he dared call into the show. Beast opened up his wallet and sent the $50 bounty and sent his ass to the hole, with the adoration and standing applause of Asmaniacs everywhere. Even with all these positive moves, there was one major issue that held him back from taking the top spot in May, and that was his cowardly running and hiding every single time Bobby Beasley appeared on screen with him. If Beast can conquer his fear of Beasley and move ahead with the trial, the top spot is certainly within reach going forward. Your number 2 ranked Asmaniac in the month of May, Beastbreaker 666. That brings us to the number 1 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 1 ranked Asmaniac in the month of May, Charles Gorman. Coming off a disappointing finish in Asmaniac Madness, Charles reminded everyone who he be in the month of May. His scientific anomaly, as he consistently somehow one-upped his previous calls almost every single time. And arguably, his most memorable call, Asmaniacs were left wondering what made a bleeding, gaping wound in Charles' neck after a shaving incident. Was he shaving with a machete? A rusty skate blade? Was he rubbing his face against a boat propeller? Asmaniacs were also treated to an inside look at the brand new Gorman bachelor pad, where he showed off his toaster in the closet. where he sat on his new throne to make calls into the Bobby Midnight Show in a bedroom featuring no actual bed. Maybe he sold his bed frame for scrap metal now that he's been cut off from Jake's Venmo request list. Anyways, Charles is 100% ready to take on this new exciting chapter of his life, and Asmaniacs are backing him all the way. Ladies and gentlemen, your number one ranked caller in the month of May, Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Congratulations to all the Asmaniacs. Thanks to everyone who calls and makes this show what it is. If you want to be ranked in June, you got to call in. You got to be in it to win it. Thank you to Boomtown for putting that together. An excellent, excellent start to our rankings. Wow. Gorman back on top. What a month for Charles. And June is already off to a strong start if you saw his call yesterday. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, some super chats to get caught up on, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. They're open now, so you can join and call in. Dick Chimney's Burner says, suck a duck, Allen. Well said. Dick Chimney's Burner says, whoops, my super chat didn't count. Now Allen can suck a duck for $5. Ladies and gentlemen, the bounty has been said. And according to YouTube, we have 4 super chats of the 15 we need. They need to be, I believe, $5 or higher to count towards the bounty on Allen. What a rankings, huh? What a job. Let me remind people, we gave away our raffle prizes yesterday, raffle 27. Green Gang, if you're out there, you want a signed Clyde jersey, I need to hear from you so I know where to send it. This week, our top prizes in the Asmaniac raffle are a signed Bart Scott jersey, a signed Kevin Mawai Hall of Fame inscription jersey, and a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. So, gift away to be eligible for any of those prizes. Rowan with a super chat. Pumped for the season already. Are you planning to travel for London this year for another epic meetup? I don't know if I'm able to make it yet. I'm hoping to be able to go again, though, Rowan. Absolutely. I just don't have my radio schedule that far in advance, so I'm only committed to doing Tampa for the one away game. JQuest says Bobby is punching air right now. Well, it's interesting. I have the stats from all the callers. Since I've been doing the show and Bobby became a regular caller, this had to be the least amount of times he ever called in a single month. Bobby Midnight only was on the show 7 total times in the month of May. So Bobby Hollywood is truly a real thing. He no longer calls in. New Q writes in, Charles and May could be the most prolific month in history. It really was a strong month. I mean, you got to just tip your cap. Dave Brigham with shots fired at Gary. Dave says Gary is nothing but a stale loaf of white bread. Strong. DNAD says the committee is too funny. Where's my inhaler? Hey, Boomtown's the one who writes all that, man. He deserves all the credit for that. Purple Belt Mike says, what a rankings. Incredible. If you're on Discord, I will post the PDF doc for people to read it back when I get done with the show today. Elton B writes in, Charles started June off strong with the underwear and bath mat talk last night. Oh, that was such a crazy Charles call yesterday. Oh my God. Gorman's off to a great start. A click and a view writes in, do we need Haley as an OC? Todd Haley, I would say he wouldn't be an OC if he was hired to the staff as a senior level of assistant. That would have made sense. But they hired Scott Turner for that role that I think would have went to Todd Haley. That's kind of my feeling. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Rick Kent says he missed yesterday's show. Oh, baby, did you miss a lot, Rick? Right now, there's currently nobody on hold. So I will simply say, if you're a first-time caller, no wait. We will have you cut the line and go right to the top. Another reminder that you have till June 13th to lock in your spot for Jets Panthers. When you buy a ticket, know you're saving basically $60 per ticket on what the normal rate is. And you're in a section 129, the lower level, full of Asmaniacs. For anyone who came to our Texans event last year, same concept. We'll have info on a tailgate at a later date. That will also be discounted for folks as well. First up today on our Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is Hep, who starts it off. What's up, Hep? Thanks for calling.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? I was watching the Charles show, and it's a real mitzvah what you guys did for him. I don't know if he would have left his house. And he's growing. I'd like to see him get like a girlfriend or something. Get a little something going on there.
Well, he's got the bachelor pad now to make it happen. So who knows?
Yeah. And you know what? He's Can he drive? Will he be able to drive? Could he get a license? Do you know?
He says he doesn't like to drive, so he doesn't drive.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking he would be really perfect if he can get a job in a comic book store. That would be his dream job.
That's a good point.
Right? Just getting them in stocking shelves, talking to people about things and ordering, I think that would be his dream job. We'll see if we can hook him up with that. Where does he live, in Jersey?
He lives in Jersey, yep.
Like northern Jersey or southern Jersey?
I think closer to northern, but it might technically be considered like the central area of Jersey. I don't know.
Right. Okay. I'll keep my eyes out. I'll see if I can find anything for him.
All right.
All right. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm going to the Cowboy game this year.
Nice. That's
yeah.
That should be hopefully a good game. Last time they played the Cowboys at MetLife, they won.
Yeah, and it's funny, they were but they should still be in it by then. Then it won't be totally wiped out by then. It wouldn't be there won't be a total losing record at that time. I didn't realize is that that they prorate the games. Like if it's a Pittsburgh Steelers game, it's a really good game. That's the most expensive game. If
Correct.
It's a crummy game, it's not as expensive. I didn't realize. I thought it was always the same price throughout the year.
Nope, it's based on the game. That's why like the tickets for our group buy are a little more than they were last year because we have a Sunday 1:00 game compared to a Thursday night on Halloween a year ago.
Right. Yeah, it's just interesting. And but anyway, it was good talking to you, Jake. I'll see you on the rebound.
Hep, appreciate the call, man. Ready to start us off? Let's go from Hep to Shooter, who's up next. Hello, Shooter. Shooter. You're on the air, Shooter. Thank you for the time. Thunderlips is up next on our show. Hello, Thunderlips.
I definitely will talk. Can you hear me? Hey, that congrats to Charles Gorman. Those descriptions were freaking phenomenal by the committee. That was awesome. Man, but I mean, yesterday's show when Gorman was saying how he feels like asking if he had real friends and stuff, it's like everybody sent him stuff. Like they keep on sending him things. If you did not have real friends, people wouldn't give a shit about you or about your apartment, and they wouldn't send you anything. So, Charles, if you're listening, feel lucky, bro. You got support, and everyone loves you. But for the game, sorry about the email this morning. I bombarded you with questions, man. I'm just gonna reserve tickets, and if my wife says no, fuck it, she's coming anyway. I mean, I don't care. I'm just gonna drag. She's gonna have to come, man. We're gonna board the dogs, and I mean, it's a process because it's coming from Virginia, and stuff like that. But we'll just take Monday off. I just want to. My oldest turns 21 October 1st, so we were gonna go to Vegas for his birthday, but I mean, if he says he can't go, I kind of want to take him to this instead. I think it'll be a cool thing to do with the whole fam.
Last year was a ton of fun.
My two little guys. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks awesome. But my two little guys' only game was Zach Wilson's funeral. I don't know if you remember that game on Thursday night when it was pouring rain, and I think mostly came out like they all wore black and shit like that. And man, and then they put Strebler in. It was horrible. But my two little guys loved it. They had so much fun. Like, that's what's great about the kids. They don't really fully understand how dog shit that the team is, and they're still going nuts, and just the whole experience, So hopefully get a dub for them if I go this time. You know what I mean?
Thunderlips, excellent call. Now I'm going to play something for you because I know you haven't been watching the show all that long. I think you've probably been watching the show for maybe like 6 months, let's say, and maybe a little longer. And I love that you become a regular because you're a tremendous caller, great person. You brought up that Jaguar game. I was there. And I already see in the chat right now a bunch of people writing, he stinks. Probably the rant that more people bring up to me than any other rant I've had talking about this football team is the rant I did from my car leaving MetLife after that game. I flew in from Houston. I was home for like the week, so I went to the game. This was right before I'm about to sit in traffic and drive back to Long Island. And at the time, this YouTube show was a side hustle for me. It wasn't my full-time job. I was full-time doing afternoon radio in Houston on the ESPN station. So I was back in town for this game. And while I was doing the YouTube show, the shows weren't as long. I just quickly was going to open up my laptop, hotspot from my phone, and do a short post game on the debacle that was Jets-Jaguars. So now you know the context. Here was the rant.
Well, we start with the quarterback. All right, I'm going to get into it. We'll take your calls. I'm sure the Zach truthers will try and make excuses for Zach Wilson. Enough. He sucked. He was god-awful. And tonight was Zach Wilson's last start as the Jet quarterback ever. Barring injury, he's done. I'm sorry. I hate saying it. It's not personal. He seems like a nice kid. He's not the answer. He's not. Sorry. I don't want to hear any other takeaway from this game. You want to blame the offensive line? Sure, blame them. They were not good tonight. You want to blame the defense? That's the laziest take, and we're not allowing it. The defense allowed 19 points. That's a bad effort. They're on the field the entire game because this quarterback stinks. And I like Zach Wilson. I've defended Zach Wilson. I've tried to be patient with Zach Wilson, but it's enough. Zach Wilson truthers, he stinks. The guy is terrible. He stinks. All right? Stop defending him. He's got the lowest passer rating in the NFL this season. The lowest completion percentage in the NFL this season. He had the lowest passer rating in the NFL last season. He had the lowest completion percentage in the NFL last season. He hasn't gotten better. I was patient with Zach because he does have talent. Because he does have potential. But it's not working. It is not working. He is not the guy. This team is too good to be 7-8. All right, this defense had a, quote, bad game. They gave up 19 points. 19. How dare the defense do anything? Come on, man. The quarterback stinks. He's not the guy. He has not improved. He has not gotten better. He is the same quarterback we saw last year. I defended him last year because we saw flashes. You see that from rookies. Then they get better. You know who got better? Trevor Lawrence got better. All right, watching some of the throws he made tonight. You know who got better? Justin Fields got better. Zach Wilson hasn't gotten better, period. You need your quarterback to make plays. They had 3 points against the Jaguars defense that allows over 23 a game. They're a bottom third defense. You're at home. Your season's on the line. And you scored 3 freaking points. Enough. I'm not dealing with the Zach Wilson truthers. If you're a Zach Wilson truther, you're out. You're not on the show. You're gone. We're not doing it. If your takeaway from this game is not that the quarterback is holding this team back, I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you. Seek help. I know I need help because I sat in MetLife and I'm going to have pneumonia from this garbage. Enough. I'm tired of it, man. This team is too good to be 7-8. They were 6-3. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. They have everything in place besides a franchise quarterback. And I don't know if Mike White's the guy, but I know he gives the team a better chance to win the last 2. And then I'll bring him back, and I'll bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, or I'll beg for Aaron Rodgers to come here, or I'll beg Derek Carr to come here. I don't know, but I do know the answer is not you run it back with Zach Wilson because, Jake, he needs more time. Enough. He's not playing well. He's playing awful right now. And the second any quarterback comes in, the offense magically looks better. Explain that. Oh, but it's Mike LaFleur's fault. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Enough.
What a rant. Jets were 6-3. Imagine that. Big fella. Super chat. Jake Charles shirt is coming tomorrow. Oh, baby. The amount of stuff that Gorman is getting from the Asmaniacs. Just wild. Derek Q. Jake, a little off topic. Thoughts on the Knicks going after Giannis? I'd love it. All right. I'd love to date Margot Robbie as well. I don't see it happening. I don't know why Milwaukee would want to do a deal with the Knicks over some of the other options. The only way it can maybe happen is if Giannis says, I only want to play for the Knicks. He tells every other team interested in him he won't sign an extension with them. Then maybe you could try and force some sort of deal. I doubt it, though. I wouldn't bank on it, is my point. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder, you gift the membership, you're in the raffle. Chance to win Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, Kevin Mawai jersey, and Bart Scott jersey. And I'll tell you what, since no one's gifted a membership, and I want people to get channel badges, so we can add some more emojis. If you're the first person to gift a membership this show, it's double. First come, first serve, so go fast. So if you gift 1, it's actually 2. 5 is actually 10. Just to get us rolling here with the channel memberships. All right, let's get to more of your calls here. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gustbuster hotline is Shooter. Shooter, hopefully we could hear you this time, man.
Can you hear me now, Jake?
Yes, sir. Hold on. Luppy
Sorry,
is
my
the first in. Luppy, you're in for 5, a.k.a. double. You're in for 10. He's the first to gift during the show. The Lup Man, baby. This is for you. All right, Shooter. Sorry about that. Needed to play that for the people. Go ahead.
So is Bobby really Hollywooding you? Is he big Hollywood now? Is that why he hasn't been calling in?
You know, that's the theory I have. I mean, how else do you explain the man only calling in 7 total times in a month?
I miss his intro song. Used to hear it all the time. Made me smile.
I agree.
What about Mikey? I haven't heard Mikey either. Where's Mikey at?
Mikey's always had issues just calling in general because of the tech issues.
There was a little stint where he was calling in quite more often than Bobby. So yeah, I haven't heard from either of those guys. But yeah, Jake, I just wanted to let you know that I did buy my New York ticket. This will be my second time coming to New York. The first time was in 2018, but I never got a chance to go to MetLife. But this will be my first Jets game, home game. So that's pretty exciting for me.
Well, are you Stephen D is that your
Yeah,
oh,
that's
okay.
me.
I didn't know. You gotta change it to Shooter on YouTube so we know you as Shooter.
Oh yeah, that's my Facebook name, Shooter. Everyone else had cool names, so I just didn't want to be boring. I wanted to have a cool name for my first call.
I love it. Well, you're Shooter from now on.
I've been to 2 Jets games. I've been to my first Jets game in Denver where we won with Zach Wilson 2 years ago. I actually snuck down and sat next to Zach Wilson's mom. So she's a very nice lady. You know, I told her, we wanted the best, but unfortunately, some fans were very harsh, and she was very clear on that. She took a picture with me. She was a very lovely, lovely lady. And my second Jets game was when I drove my family all the way from San Diego to Arizona for that debacle. I was so embarrassed. I spent money. I spent everything on that trip to watch Aaron Rodgers hopefully beat the Arizona Cardinals, but I couldn't look at my kids in the face after that game. We left at the end of the 3rd quarter. It was so embarrassing.
That was the worst game of the season last year. That and the game in Buffalo at the end of the year.
Yeah, at the end of the 3rd quarter, it was so hectic getting into that stadium. I was like, let's just go. Let's go somewhere else. It stunk. It stunk, Jake. It really pissed me off. So hopefully, yeah, we can get a bounce back against that man, Aaron Rodgers, on home opener, and hopefully you get to make it. Hopefully you get to see your schedule, and then the home opener is open for you, and we can tailgate with some Asmaniacs. I would love to meet you guys.
Yeah, Shooter, it'd be great to meet you, man. I appreciate the call. I'm hoping to be there. I don't know yet. That's the thing. I won't know for Probably another month or so. It's out of my hands. I'd like to be there. I went to the home opener last year. That was the Thursday night dominant win over the Pats. Also, I see Green Gang is in the chat. I want to shout him out real quick because he just gifted 5 channel memberships. Green Gang, yesterday on the show, the first show, you won the signed white Walt Clyde Frazier Knicks jersey. I don't know if you know that you won that jersey yesterday. So do me a favor. Email me, AsmanJake at Gmail, your address and your actual name, because I can't write Green Gang on it. I guess maybe I can, but your name and address, where to send the jersey to, and I'll get that sent out for you this week. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. You're in the upcoming raffle now for 5. But to everyone who won a prize, either a daily raffle prize over the last week or won our prizes yesterday, that was the Kyle Clifton, Felix, and Mike D's Nuts. All your prizes were sent out yesterday. So you hopefully will get them soon. Thanks to everyone for their support. Try to get the raffle prizes out as quickly as I can. Let's give some love to the big fella. He gifted a channel membership. Yeah, baby. And how about this? Patriots 12 is trying to get in the good graces of everyone. He sent in what is the equivalent of a $20 super chat. And he says, can you put this towards getting Charles some supplies? Love the show. Wow. Patriots 12, you might not be a terrible guy. That's a nice gesture. I appreciate it. And you're in the raffle for 5. Rules are rules. Luppy's 5 memberships, by the way, went to Mike Shannon, Hep, M. Goops, Fishing for Bangers, Mr. Roberts. Big Fella's gifted membership went to Rooney A. And the 5 that Green Gang gifted went to Lee Van, Donna, Ed Vargas, Juju, and Michael Estrada. So congratulations to everyone who just got a membership. What should our next emoji be? That's the question. What should we get Charles Gorman next now, by the way, with our $20 in Canadian money we have? Ryder says, did anyone send Charles some flushable wipes? I was going to send him dude wipes, and he gave me a whole hard time about it. I still might send it anyway, though. That Chuck Gorman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls now. Open phone lines, no wait time if you want in on the conversation. And the guy on the line right now is one of the all-time greats. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and get ready. Because it is time to sing along.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one-punch breaker. You need to get a job. What he call him, one-punch breaker. The beast is on his ass. Call him one-punch breaker. Said he wants some beanbag. Call him one-punch breaker. You only need one.
Hey, good morning, Jake. How are you this morning?
Dave, what's going on?
Well, I'm home from work today. No work, but I have to do yard work. So I'm hopefully the Wi-Fi works out here in the yard, you know. But I had to call in and say I appreciate the ranking this month, you know. And I like to call in. Don't ever get me wrong. You know, I just don't want to become stale like some people, you know. I don't want to get to that point.
I
want to bring points to the table, you know. So it's a great blessing to have that privilege of being among them as maniacs to have that ranking, you know. So as far as Wilks goes, I think we have a good coordinator there. I think we're going to do well this year with him. You know, probably to blend both schemes together between Glenn's and his, and hopefully that works. Yeah, we have to get our defense is able to stop the run. That's a big concern. It's a big concern.
Agreed. I like what Quinnen said about how he knows he needs to be better at stopping the run. He didn't great at it last year, and that's a goal of his, a focus of his.
Well, now that they have money, they should try to get Clowney. I think that's he could beef up. He stopped the run, rush the passer. He's a good player. I mean, 32 is not old. They call me old at 74, but 32 is young. So I don't think that should be prohibitive in stopping him from going to get a good player. I think we need some help down there in the defensive line. It would have been good if they got a big beefer. I don't know about this Natty, how good he is. I know he had good years with the Chiefs, but they got to stop the run. Without stopping the run, I mean, Sal didn't care anything about the run. That stupid wide 9. He made no adjustments, nothing. It was terrible. I mean, I'll never understand that man. I'll never understand that coach as long as I live. He was such a horrible head coach. They say Coach Tight was bad. He was bad. He's terrible. But this guy was, he had to be second to Coach Tight. I mean, he was a terrible head coach. Between his discipline, no accountability. I mean, we see Glenn's bringing that to the table. I mean, that's what we need. We're not going to achieve without accountability of these players that we have. That's it. We want to achieve.
Amen. You're spot on.
I'm looking forward to that Tampa game. Hopefully everybody else is going to be on board. And as far as the Patriots guy goes, I mean, I'll never call that guy 6 rings. There's no way in the world. It's nice what he's doing for Charles, but I don't get it. I mean, you can't find a Patriot podcast. I mean, I know he likes your station. That's a great honor for you, for the channel. But I mean, you can't buy your way into this place. I mean, you have to achieve. He can't achieve through monetary means. So, I mean, I don't get that guy. I mean, he seems to be somebody that's lost out there in need of help.
It is bizarre to me as well that a Patriots
fan
very
is bizarre. It's very bizarre. I mean, it's a testimony to you, Jake. You could draw Patriots fans in. I mean, because I know I'm not looking to go to Patriots, podcast or site. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But and Charles, I hope everything works out for Charles down in his new home, and he has to get that microwave out of the closet, or was it the toaster in the closet? Tell him to get that toaster out of the closet. And it's great to see everybody helping him out. So, what else we have on the agenda today? Anything new? Anything else new?
This afternoon will be a good one, I think, Dave. We got Sabo joining us live from OTAs. Jets on the field today with the media in attendance, so we'll get more practice reports. And Glenn has a press conference as well. So I think the afternoon show will be a must listen.
Yeah, great. Well, it's always good checking in. Like I said, I want to become like stale white bread or decrepit red meat. So we know how that goes. So it's good to see everybody and have a good day. God bless everyone. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dave Briga.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Briga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Briga. His claim is not too dirty. Call him One Punch Briga. He did justice like his ass. One Punch Briga. Does it know they need
The man, the myth, the legend, Dave Briga. A big fella proposes a Boomtown emoji. He deserves one. I agree. But Boomtown's too humble to even want that. But we might have to just say tough. Now, what would a Boomtown emoji look like? That's the thing. Boomtown doesn't call that much. Could just be his profile picture, Boomtown, the Canadian flag. Yo, Holmes says, so Sabo's at practice. He won't be in his PJs again. He is at practice. He will be joining us at 4 Eastern this afternoon. So we will have practice reports later. Shooter writes in, Stephen D. and GZ. We learned that's Shooter, which I will forget after today. So, Shooter, I recommend you change the YouTube name to something Shooter in it so I don't forget you. Can we convert 6 rings? I mean, maybe, but do we really want this guy to be converted to a Jet fan? I mean, he's such a fraudulent fan. Anthony says, Jake will be getting tickets for the Panthers game and to become a Patreon member. That's awesome, Anthony. So for those who are unaware, we have a deadline of June 13th to lock in your spot for Jets Panthers, our group buy will be in section 129, lower level. The tickets are $165 a person before fees. I think it comes out to like $173 after the fees. Normally, a ticket in that section, if you don't have a group buy discount rate, is $227.80. So you're saving almost $60 if you buy with us. And you get to join the Asmaniacs. 1 o'clock game, Jets Panthers, winnable game. So we have till June 13th to lock in our spot. Nick Shine and I are working on a tailgate. We'll have a discounted tailgate option with Tailgate Joe. So we'll have info on that when we get closer, but we're just trying to lock in the tickets right now for people. Last year, I had to front $15,000. This year, I learned how to create a website where people could pay in advance. So it'll be a lot smoother process for me this year. So appreciate everyone for their support. Let's see. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. How many likes we at? 115. But there's 221 people watching live right now. That means some of you haven't hit the like button yet. Please do so. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that as well. It is slow right now. We have plateaued on the subscriber count. We need the Jets to be good this year. Wouldn't that be nice? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Well, he's home, he's sitting in a chair, 'cause his back hurts. On the road, he's sitting in a chair, in an upgraded hotel room. He calls the show his ass is in a chair. His wife thinks he's weird. He got a beard. He loves the Jets, the Super Chats. He's a big fella. He's all alone in a room on a chair. That's a big fella.
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Big Fella.
What's going on, man?
How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in. You know, another day in paradise.
Yeah, I hear you. Same. I really do think Boomtown should get an emoji, man. He's like the backbone of this whole thing, bro. You're the head. He's the backbone. He deserves it. He's my Canadian brother.
What should the emoji look like? I agree with you. I just want to know what it should look like.
I don't know. I mean, like, obviously there should be a maple leaf in it somewhere.
Yeah,
You know?
has to be some sort of like tribute to the fact he's Canadian.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I could think about it. I just thought about it like when you brought it up, so I'll put some thought into it. But you know, and I'll get back to you. But I can't design it. I'm not good at designing.
Me neither.
You know, but you know, it is the slow time of the year, so I wanted to ask you a couple questions. First one's about the Jets. Second's about the Knicks. The first one about the Jets is they're sitting on a lot of cap money now, right? Don't they have like a decent amount of cap money?
The Jets, yeah, they have the fourth most in the league right now.
Do you think they're going to spend it? And if so, like where?
I don't think they're going to spend it really on anything. I don't think they're going to add anyone notable. Like if they do, I hope it would be another receiver because I think they're a receiver short right now. I love Keenan Allen. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, Keenan Allen would be good, but they're not signing people over 30. So, I mean, I don't know if Keenan Allen's over 30, but, you know.
Briga brought up Clowney. I think Jadeveon Clowney is another edge added to that room would be helpful, but I don't think they're going to do it.
What about like Zadarius Smith? Somebody like him.
Zadarius Smith, another guy that would make a lot of sense.
I mean, he played for the Lions too, I believe. I don't know. But the next question I got for you is, what do you think about the Knicks going after maybe a guy like Davion Mitchell? He's a restricted free agent with Miami, and I think he'd be perfect coming off the bench. Great defender.
Yeah.
He's
Do they
young.
have money to add him? That'd be the question.
I don't know. He's restricted. I don't know what.
I don't know what he's projected to get. Someone suggested you bring in Al Horford as the backup center. Him and Towns have a really close relationship from playing on the Dominican team every year together. Mm-hmm. Horford's at this stage of his career where he's not really looking for money. Like it could take less to have a chance to win another ring. That to me
Yeah.
made sense. I like your idea too. I just don't know if that's feasible. I'd have to look at the contracts.
Yeah, he's a restricted free agent this year, so I don't know like what Miami's thinking about like matching and stuff like that. But I think he would be perfect for the Knicks. I mean, no more campaigns, bro.
Dude,
no more
telling me.
campaigns. Bro, that shot that he took was like the worst shot I've seen in an NBA game, bro, in ages.
I think it got him benched. Did he play at all after that? I don't think he did.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, it was terrible, but you know, that's what I got with that. Now, Charles is like I sent you the shirt the picture of the shirt that I got. That's coming tomorrow. And he's got some Bucky's Beaver Nuggets coming in the future too. So, you know.
Not enough people on the East Coast know about the greatness of Bucky's.
Yeah, Bucky's is fantastic. Bucky's. I look forward to going to Bucky's every time I go to Tennessee. So, we definitely make it a stop. So, yeah, you know, look forward to seeing how Charles is making it. I didn't expect him to show his package yesterday. I'll tell you that.
No, I don't think anyone did.
after I sent him the underwear, I was like, bro, you kidding me? But you know, we'll see. And I'm glad the squatty potty that you sent is getting some good use out of it, bro.
How about the fact that he thought you sent him the squatty potty?
What's that?
He thought you sent him the squatty potty.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thanks for the squat. I'm like, dude, I didn't send that. I was like, Jake sent that.
And then he thought that then he forgot that he already received the squatty potty.
Right. That's what I didn't understand yesterday. I told him the day before, I was like, Jake, because he asked me, he's like, did you send me that? I'm like, no, Jake sent you that. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I don't know how he got the wires crossed about like thinking that. I don't know. I don't get that, but it's a useful gift you sent, my friend. So
as are your gifts.
No, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I wish he kept the candy though.
Sad. What a waste, Gorman. You should have been eating it on the air.
Charles better not throw the shirt out. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
so.
Absolutely not.
I want a picture with that. Anyway, man, have a good day. I got to take my son to doctor, so I just want to check in. Have a good one, man.
I appreciate it, big fella. Great call as always. Let's see here. I want to give a huge shout out to Anthony, who just signed up for the Patreon for the year. And quick reminder, when you join the Patreon for the year, you get 10 raffle entries in our upcoming raffle that week. So, Anthony, I got you down for 10. If you join the Patreon, your name is added to the countdown ticker. I haven't sent Gator the list of names yet for June. So, join by the end of today and you'll be included. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. You'll get bonus shows every month that are not on YouTube. You also will get 20% off every item in the merch store. The Discord access you get keeps you up to date on all the events. We are offering limited group buy availability for the Tampa game. You can see the group seating here. We have seats available in each section to sit with Jet fans. The price points, you could see them. $240, $175, $105. I believe this is with fees included. It's the Bucks home opener. So the game is way more expensive than I think anyone realized. However, these are by far and away the cheapest group rates you'll find. So keep that in mind. If you're coming to Tampa and you want to lock in tickets to sit in a section with Jet fans. Join the Patreon, though, if you want that link. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And then you'll see in the Discord all the info. AD83 with a super chat of $10. And the message, Bart Scott is my spirit animal. Love Bart. I get the chance to work with him at ESPN New York. Great jet. Bart Scott. I mean, one of the better free agent signings the Jets have made. I mean, it was a part of two teams that went to the AFC Championship game. And still works for the organization today. And he's on SNY, obviously, pre and post. Thunder Lips with a super chat. Thank you, Thunder Lips. Locked On Jets Pod gave the show a plug, mentioned about the contract offers interview. Don't know if you know him. You should have gave Connor credit. I know the podcast, but I don't know the host personally. But I appreciate them mentioning our show. But it was all Connor Long who had Jeremy Fowler on, who revealed on the show that the Jets have made initial contract offers to Sauce and Garrett. So, shout out to Connor Long. Ladies and gentlemen, Addison has submitted a possible Boomtown emoji. Ladies and gentlemen, look at your screen, please. How do people feel about this as our possible next emoji? Let me know in the chat right now. And speaking of Boomtown, so we gave you the rankings during this show today. On the second show in the afternoon, I have 4 quotes that were said by Asmaniacs during the month of May. And we will run a poll during the afternoon show for people to vote on. Which quote is your favorite from the month of May? So that's coming on the second show today with Robbie Sabo. Luppy says it needs to be green. Thunderlip says the color is going to be gross when it's flooding the chat. So those are some suggestions here. Ryan says, for the Panthers game, how does parking work? I have to talk to the Jets to see if I could get discounts on parking passes too, Ryan. So right now, these are just to lock in your ticket. Neil says, I say hell no. Oh, he's talking about Sauce. He doesn't want to pay Sauce. Let's see. Open phone lines. Everyone wants in on the show. Now, it says that Beast is on hold, but I don't see his camera, so I don't know if he's there. He could be sleeping. Lindell says, after watching the Pacers, I hate yellow. That's funny. I feel that. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, let's head out to our Gustbuster Umbrella hotline right now.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
Beast? Beast?
Okay.
What's wrong, Beast?
Heart.
Your heart hurts?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you eat something funny?
Go to their car. Go to their car.
Are you okay, Beast?
A little bit.
This usually happens at least once a month on the show.
Go to another caller. Go to another caller. Go to another caller. Please.
We're not. We got to make sure you're okay, Beast. We can't go to another caller. Are you still dealing with the kidney stones?
No. Well, it's a little bit. Well, I'm trying to get the blood back into circulation. It's just, I got to take it easy for a little while. And I'm going to have blood work done very soon on this arm right here.
Beast.
I'm going to get some blood work.
Are you sure you're okay?
Well, yeah, it's just a little bit of gut pain in the gut. That's all. Just getting old. I learned a lot of things, but
you're 41. You're not that old. This shouldn't be regularly happening.
I'm getting a pool very soon. I'm getting a pool. No, a pool. Pool. Pool.
What does that have to do with your heart?
I'm also having it put with a sub pump, and also I'm going to be getting what you call it. I might get something special in that bonus with that pool. Yep, it's gonna run me. It ran me $50, but I'm gonna be okay. But also, if you don't see me on here, sometimes I'll be sitting in the pool just going, yes.
What does that have to do with? I'm done asking a lot.
Right here, my next door neighbor had the same problem. He had a pacemaker put in a couple of years ago, so I'm just hoping I don't have to have a pacemaker put in. I don't want that yet. I'm not ready for one yet. I'm not ready. But I'm ready for the pool. That's what I'm ready for.
You need to lose weight and stop eating shit.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy my time and go and relax right now. And right now, I gotta get back over here because I got some albums I have to put in alphabetical order, A to Z. So can we go to the next call, please? Pool party. JT, we'll see what happens on the pool party. Okay, we'll see, but it is private party only. Only if you get an invite. No, I'm not gonna answer you. I will talk to you later.
There goes Beast. He went from having a heart attack to then talking about a pool. So I think he's okay, folks. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Big fellow with a super chat. If the leaf was green and writing in the Jets font, it's money. It's a good suggestion. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he gifted 5 memberships earlier. He was the first to do it. We doubled it because he was the first one. The Lup Man is next. What's up, Luppy?
Hey, how you doing, Jake? How's everything going?
Hanging in, Luppy. How are you?
Hanging in there too. Hey, I just signed up for the Panther game. Can't wait to go.
I just saw that. Awesome.
Yeah, your rant got me a little psyched. I'm like, I got to do this. I'm gonna take my brother. Hopefully, we don't have another rant on the way back. You know what I mean? Hopefully, it's all good. I think it will be. I think we'll have a more consistent team. Gonna take my brother. So he was one of my original guys. I'm gonna pay for him. Me and him had tickets since 1991, season tickets till they opened the new place, the air conditioning unit. I went in and sat down and I said, nope, not for me. So, going back again. So this should be fun.
Were you at the Texans one last year? I don't remember.
No, I didn't go to the Texas one last year. No, I did go to any of the games last year. A lot of stuff going on at home. So everything's good though. Listen, I am getting a little bit more psyched as it goes along. My 4-win has, I think, creeped up to 6.
Okay.
A little psyched. I see some of the stuff that's going on. Aaron Glenn seems like he's running a tight ship, which is something that we need, definitely, for a doubt. Without a doubt. Really still concerned about the defensive line and how that's going to unfold, especially and then the wide receiver spot. See who emerges there. Now that they've freed the cap after June 1st, do you think they're going to make any good moves or anything that you see coming up?
I'm not holding my breath. Like I would make a case they should sign a couple players at some key spots, but it doesn't sound like they want to do it.
Yeah, because there's still some players out there. I think they could at least help and support us. Because, like you said, Garrett Wilson goes down, God forbid. Not going to look good over there. I mean, they got to at least get some sort of wide receiver depth, I think, and defensive line too. I mean, like I said, that's really what I'm looking for. Other than that, Jake, I'm really psyched. I haven't talked in a while to you. Very, very busy at work and whatnot. It's a pleasure to talk to you and all the Asmaniacs. So, listen, let me tell you, I wanted to get Charles a first aid kit, but I didn't have his address. That's really what he needs in that place.
Message me. I can send you his address.
Really, I'll do it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, I will. Definitely, guys, got to be careful. It's just first time home. He gets himself. He can bleed out. We don't want that. Charles has got to be on the show. He's a big part of it.
No, everyone's been sending him gifts. I think it's great. I love that everyone's sending him housewarming gifts.
Yeah, because he should have a housewarming party. That'd be crazy. We have an Asmaniac meetup at Charles's place. It'd be hysterical.
100%. I mean, he's Charles Gorman. He's one of one.
Yeah. So, you definitely got to make that boom town, though. And I'm telling you, green's got to be it. Everybody's suggesting green. So, it was a nice little mock-up, though, that Aston did. But definitely green. I don't know what he's doing with the orange.
I agree with you. I think I think the template, though, is very well done by Addison.
And he mocked that up like quick. Jeez. I wonder if he had that in the back pocket for a while.
I think he used AI, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, screw AI.
Luffy, you're the man. Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot. Take it easy.
The Lup Man checking in. We're presented today by Huga House. Get a Performance Line hat. 20% off with code ASMAN at checkout. They come in a bunch of different awesome colors. If you work out, these are the most comfortable hats you could wear. If you're out in the sun, out and about, HugaHouse.com. Links in the description for the video you're watching right now. And you'll save 20% when you use my code at checkout. If you're just tuning in, we open the show talking about Steve Wilks and his comments about the Jets defense and how him and Aaron Glenn will blend their schemes together. Another reminder to lock in your ticket for Jets Panthers. You have till June 13th. Links in the description. Join the Patreon if you want to book a hotel for Tampa. If you want to get a discounted ticket for Tampa. If you want to find out all the info about Tampa. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join our Discord. Be a part of our community there. Earlier in the show, someone asked where this guy has been. And I said, well, he calls in when he can. A lot of times he does have some tech issues, though. Let's find out if we can get him on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Midnight.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey!
Hey, how you doing, buddy? You hear me?
I hear you, Mikey, but you sound like you're underwater. What's going on?
No, I'm here. I got the new computer. I got the camera, and
I like the setup. It just we don't hear you that well.
well, I had to find out to work it. I'll call back tomorrow.
You look good though, Mikey. A great camera, great living room. We like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Call back soon, all right?
You. I love you.
We love you too, Mikey. Great call. Now we just got to figure out how we could get his microphone to be connected. But that was a good looking setup there. Looked like a nice looking apartment there for Mikey. Open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. Say hi to Philly Noodles, who's next. Philly, what do you got for us?
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
I'm not bad. Lunch break here at work. A little early. One of our guys called out, so I was able to take lunch early.
What's for lunch today?
Mikey, Gary's arch enemy.
Top salad. It might kill you. Be careful.
I mean, I'm near death, with barbecue chips. So that's obviously that's the meaty portion of my meal today. Mikey Midnight. That was like the clearest. Dude, that was a connection right there. There's no sound. Sound quality out the window.
We took a big step forward.
I tuned in right as. Yeah. I tuned in right as the king of Gabagool said he had a heart attack. What's going on here? We can't lose that man.
He went from complaining about pain in his heart or stomach to then talking about a pool. So it's just another day in Beast's world.
Man, I don't know. We need to send aid. We just need maybe we all just chip in. We get an aid. Some woman just comes in and just checks up on him. She has to have 90s rocker hair though. It must be quintessentially up to date on her wrestling. We're talking ECW to WWE, 100%. As far as the Jets, I still think I would like to see the Jets tap the roots of the Packers to see if they can grab one of those wide receivers.
Great point. I agree with you.
Without a doubt. I think Dobbs would be phenomenal to run along with Wilson. I still think, like everyone else for now, what's his name? Reynolds is like a flex 2-3 with Lazard. Unless Arian Smith, for some reason, he's showing proven that he can run with them and they put him at the 3, which would be shocking. Then he would, bump one of them out completely. But yeah, I'd say tap that route, go get yourself some Dobbs, go see what else is out there, shake some trees, make a trade happen. I mean, they got the money, but I would rather invest the money on some defense, or just allocate the money to pay Sauce and Wilson and call it that.
Well, they could do both. I think that's what people maybe confuse. The extensions for Sauce and Garrett wouldn't kick in for a couple of years. You'd be just adding on to this year and next year they're under contract for.
Okay. So damn, with that, then go re-up on some more defensive players. Because, to go grab Keenan, to go grab any of those wide receivers, it's pointless. They want a ring. They're older. So unless you can you can sway grabbing, Dobbs and he has a terrific year, or one of those guys, or someone like that who's maybe a little disgruntled, and then throwing him, an extension, like a light extension. So you're talking like wide receivers in second round, third round, because Garrett Wilson's going to get paid, but you can then grab somebody and pay him, mid-level, Maybe give him like 10 a year, 8 a year if they have a really good season. Something like that.
Agreed.
That'd be nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that you could make a case they can add a D end receiver, DT. Like there's still needs on this team, but they're seemingly not going to do it right now.
Yeah, because I know Alan's probably immediately right now in the chat just saying, and Phil thinks Derek Nottie is good. I never said he was great. I just think he could have a good season with us. It'd be nice. I think if everyone just chips in and everyone's got 5 sacks and one guy's got over 10 individually, you're going to have a great season. If you look at the Lions, it's not like one guy was over. I don't know if Hutchinson had, over 10 sacks in one season so far. Everybody chipped in, and the secondary played phenomenal for them. And that's how they had that good playoff run 2 years in a row. But, is what it is. We'll figure it out. I think so. So, yeah, Godspeed. Let's go, Jets. I'll see you in Tampa, bro.
Philly, enjoy your salad. Hopefully it doesn't kill you. Where's Gary at? What are his thoughts on it? I think we know them. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Shows about to wind down. Last chance to get a raffle entry this week, giving away a signed Bart Scott jersey, signed Kevin Mawai jersey, and a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. Eli says maybe our new scheme will help us better against the run. Rich Cimini had a good nugget in his weekly insider column on ESPN. He spoke with a rival scout who said that the Jets defense will be much better against the run because their scheme is going to be more predicated on stopping the run, whereas Salah's scheme was all about rushing the passer. So I do agree with that. Jquest says, why doesn't everyone get off Allen's date? Allen sucks, Jquest. Stop defending him. He's not a real Jet fan. He's a fraud. He lives to just tell us how bad the Jets are going to be. Comments, questions, super chats, last chance to get in here. Beast Breaker is on the line. I thought he had to go. Beast, are you there? Beast? Beast.
I'm busy right now. I'm laying down.
You're laying down.
I don't want to be bothered. Go to another call, please. Thank you.
What do you mean you're laying down?
I need to take it easy. If I don't take better care of myself, I'm gonna end up like a vegetable.
We've been saying that to you.
I need time to rest. Please let me have my rest. Jedi needs his rest.
Let me ask you, does you resting look a lot like what I'm imagining it looking like? Does it look like something along the lines of like this? Hey, Beast, you're up?
No, more laying down, more quiet. I want peace. I just want peace.
Like this?
Thank you.
That's what it looks like?
Now let me be at peace. Like every Jedi once said, let me be at peace. Thank you.
Did every Jedi say that?
I remember what Yoda once said, let every Jedi be at peace. Be at peace. Thank you.
I want to be a Jedi.
Well, it takes years to be a Jedi. You gotta take the steps before you do anything.
What do I need to do?
You gotta challenge yourself.
Okay.
Learn the ways of the Force. Now let me be at peace. Thank you. Let me be at peace. Thank you. I said thank you. I don't feel it's necessary for me to get up and just move around and do all that extra stuff. I want to be at peace. Thank you. Now have a good day. Have a good day. I said have a good day. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
And he's gone. Please, thanks for the time. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Eli comes to the pipeline. $10 super chat, 2 raffle entries. Bang! Bang! I'm taking the over on 5.5 wins. I mean, if I had to bet, I would too. I'm at 6 right now. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's less. Mike D's Nuts says, get off your ass and just leave. Pat McAfee's Tank Top says, why don't you get off your fat ass and turn off the computer if you want peace? Jets Johnny says, bum coward. GTA says, Beast, you know you can hang up. Anthony says, Beast is becoming a drama queen. Ryan says, imagine taking a nap on a Tuesday at 11:50. Must be nice. John Williams says, this is a peaceful show, Beast. I agree. This is very peaceful. Boomtown says, for a Beast call, that was more bizarre than normal. Dixon says, do you think we split with Buffalo and New England? I think they split with New England, not Buffalo. How could I pick the Jets to win against Buffalo right now? I mean, maybe they could beat Buffalo if it means absolutely nothing for them in Week 18. But you can't bank on that. Party with Peg and Artie. Anyone see if the NASCAR is up or down today? Great callback. All right. Last call. The great Ralphie is on the line. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, how are you? I'm the closer.
You're closing it out, man.
Boy. Oh boy, got the Beck jersey, so thank you.
Oh, let's go. Let's go full screen for that for a moment. Tremendous.
It's covering up the Vinny Testaverde football, but that's okay for now.
You've done well with the raffle prizes of late.
Yeah, got to be in it to win it. I guess.
Love it. Thanks for your support, Ralphie.
No problem. I'm in for Tampa and for London, actually.
Oh, that's great. I'm hoping I can make it London. I really recommend it to anyone who could go. It was a blast last year.
Yeah, last year I went to Nashville instead that weekend, and so Alabama got smoked by Vanderbilt. So hopefully things will be better this year.
Are you on my Discord, Ralphie? I don't know if you need a hotel room for Tampa or not, but I'll have the link later for people to book rooms.
I'm all booked. My daughter went to University of Tampa, so for 4 years we kind of had our favorite Marriott over there, and
Nice.
actually the visiting teams stay there because it's a NFL hotel. So sometimes you bump into some of the visiting players. That's the Marriott at the water side, I think it's called. But we'll be around all weekend there. And then London, that would be cool too. So I got my wife to buy into it. So London is her birthday weekend. And so she said, let's just go to the games and then stay a few extra days in London. So it worked out.
That's awesome. Good for you. That's those are 2 great games to be at.
Yeah. Tampa's great. Great stadium. I've been to a Monday night game there while my daughter was going to school down there. Got to see Brady cheer for him for once. He wasn't in the Patriots jersey, and they won on a Monday night last second, as usual with him. So it'll be good to go and root for the Jets down there. It's a really nice stadium. So much better than we have at Jet Life.
The bar is pretty low.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I just want to thank you for the Beck jersey. Unfortunately, he wrote his name too clear on there. If he wrote a Sloppy with a big A and Slop, I was going to get the name changed to Tune, the nameplate. But
that's actually really funny.
Yeah, but you can kind of see it's a little longer than Al Tune. So, and it's kind of neat. So we'll just keep it with Anthony Becht.
Sweet. Well, Ralphie, I appreciate you calling in, man. Congrats
All right,
again on the
thanks.
prize.
Have a good one. I'll listen this afternoon.
You got it. Ralphie checking in. Great call there. Love that shirt too. The pink Jet shirt. Ryan with a super chat. He says, I'll take an entry in the raffle. It's $10 minimum, Ryan. But I appreciate your support. This community is the best, and I hope the Jets give us what they deserve. I'll make the exception for Ryan if everyone in the chat is cool with it. Thanks for the support as always, Ryan. Let's see. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Ladies and gentlemen, example 10 million of Allen being a fraud Jet fan. He says, congrats to the married couple of Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. Allen, congrats to you on being sent to the hole. You bum.
Now look what you've done, Allen. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Such a joke, man. Not a Jet fan. I don't know how many times we need to go over this. The biggest fraud ever. He's on every Jet YouTube show. And this one every day. Fraud. 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 Unbelievable. On that note, thank you to everyone who watched. This afternoon will be a busy show. Sabo's going to join us. We'll have live Jets OTA observations. There are, I think, just 2 practices that are left that are open for the media to view. Today and then one next week for minicamp. I'm guessing it's just one next week. I don't know if the Jets will do more than one. They basically have just done one a week, which is like the bare minimum they're contractually obligated to do. So we will have live observations this afternoon. We'll find out if Justin Fields is still playing well, if Arian Smith is still making plays like Nick Faria said he was the last time he joined us. But Robbie Sabo's on our show this afternoon, so I'm certainly looking forward to that. Again, thank you all who watched the show. Get your tickets for Jets Panthers if you want to join us for the group buy on October 19th. I know it's a while to go, but the Jets are asking for us to give them a head count by June 13th, which is why we're pushing it so hard on the show. Love you all. Thanks for watching. JETS, 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 Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone with the greatest camera quality you will ever see. Robert C. is up next. Hello, Robert.
So I try to pull up your channel on YouTube. What the Jets need to do is win.
Robert, thank you for the call. I don't know if that's your camera, if you're hanging out with Weed the People, if you're in a sauna, but that was great. Show's not over. Man with a rake at the actual buzzer. Gifted a membership. You're in the raffle for one at the buzzer. Man with a rake. All right, now the show is over. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Go Jets.
Just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Nah. Ricky NY is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Okay, did you lose me?
What's up, Ricky?
At any rate, I will be calling back soon with different Wi-Fi.
You're the man, Ricky.
How do you feel about this whole Dazan Reddick news?
I think Dazan should show up to training camp immediately, Lane.
I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl without him. I look like Dream Man in the bed right now. Yep. Moving along.
Thank you for the call today.
You're welcome.